There's a silent crisis affecting millions of men around the world, one that isn't discussed nearly enough. And the consequences of this silence are quietly damaging the quality of life for countless fathers, grandfathers, brothers, and husbands. Hi, I'm a medical professional with over 20 years of experience in urology. I've had the privilege and the responsibility of treating thousands of men facing the challenges of aging. But there's one particular conversation that I believe every man over the age of 60 must have. Not in whispers, not behind closed doors, and certainly not when it's too late. It's a conversation about your prostate, and more importantly, the simple, natural, daily habits that could protect, restore, and potentially save your prostate health. These aren't gimmicks. What I'm about to share with you is real, evidence-backed science. Credible, actionable strategies that researchers and clinicians around the world are using to help men age with less discomfort, fewer complications, and much more freedom. If you are over 60, or if someone close to your heart is, I urge you to stay with me. These 5 daily habits may seem modest, but their combined impact can be revolutionary. In fact, one of them might surprise you entirely. So, stick with me until the end if you care about your prostate and sexual health, because this might be the best video you'll see this year. To appreciate why these habits are so essential, you need to first understand the nature of the prostate itself. The prostate gland is small, about the size of a walnut, and sits just beneath the bladder, encircling the urethra, the tube through which urine exits the body. It plays a pivotal role in male reproductive health by producing seminal fluid that nourishes and transports sperm. Up until around age 50, most men scarcely notice the prostate exists. But starting in the 6th decade of life, this little gland starts to change, and not for the better. The medical term for this age-related growth is benign prostatic hyperplasia, or BPH. While it's not cancer, it can feel intrusive. According to the National Institutes of Health, over 50% of men in their 50s already show signs of prostate enlargement. By age 70, that figure climbs past 80%. What does that look like in daily life? For many, it begins subtly. A weaker stream, a constant feeling that the bladder isn't fully empty, difficulty starting urination, or worse, frequent trips to the bathroom during the night that interrupt sleep and drain energy. Most men assume this is just part of getting older, but that's a dangerous myth. New scientific research shows that prostate inflammation and enlargement can be significantly influenced and even improved through daily habits that regulate inflammation, hormones, and blood flow. Let's begin with the first habit, a habit so simple it's often overlooked. Let me start with something that's hiding in plain sight. How, when, and what you drink matters. Proper hydration isn't just good for overall health, it plays a direct role in reducing prostate inflammation and improving urinary function. As men age, their sense of thirst diminishes. It's common for older adults to go several hours without drinking, only hydrating when dehydration has already begun. The result? Overly concentrated, acidic urine loaded with waste products that irritate the bladder and aggravate prostate tissue. This poor hydration pattern contributes to one of the most frustrating symptoms of BPH, nocturia, the need to urinate several times during the night. But here's where guided research gives us a solution. A study published in the Journal of Urology involving over 2,000 men aged 60 and older showed that well-distributed hydration early in the day, paired with reduced fluid intake in the evening, led to a 41% reduction in nighttime urinary urgency and frequency. So what do I recommend? Hydrate like it's a prescription. Sip water consistently from morning through early afternoon. Aim for 6 to 8 cups of water, depending on your activity level and kidney health. Then taper off in the evening to allow your bladder to rest overnight. This small, routine-based adjustment reduces irritation, flushes toxins gently, and supports normal prostate function without stressing the body. Another underrated, completely free strategy: walk. That's right, a light 15-minute walk after meals, especially lunch and dinner, can significantly influence prostate health in multiple ways. Research from the University of São Paulo Medical School found that older men who engaged in post-meal movement had up to a 35% lower risk of developing moderate to severe BPH symptoms compared to those who remained sedentary. But what's happening physiologically? Walking after meals activates blood flow in the pelvic region, improving oxygenation and nutrient delivery to the prostate gland. It also helps regulate blood glucose, which is key, since insulin resistance and type 2 diabetes are directly associated with prostate issues. Light physical activity also reduces systemic inflammatory markers, including C-reactive protein, CRP, and interleukin-6, IL-6, both of which are elevated in chronic prostate inflammation. Think of walking as a post-meal medicine. You don't need a gym. You don't need to run. Just pace gently indoors or outdoors with consistency. Over time, this tiny, lifelong investment yields extraordinary protective effects for your prostate and your whole body. Now let's talk about a habit that's been buried under years of stigma and shame: sexual activity in older age. From a purely medical perspective, maintaining regular ejaculation is not only healthy, it may be one of the body's most effective natural methods for clearing waste from the prostate. A landmark 2016 study published in European Urology by researchers at Harvard followed more than 30,000 men over 18 years. They discovered a fascinating correlation. Men who ejaculated 21 or more times per month had a 33% lower risk of developing prostate cancer compared to those with fewer monthly occurrences. Biologically, ejaculation helps the prostate expel residual fluids, dead cells, and inflammatory proteins, substances that, when allowed to accumulate, may contribute to congestion and irritation. Beyond the cleansing effect, sexual activity also enhances pelvic circulation, reduces tension in the muscles surrounding the prostate, improves hormonal balance, and lowers cortisol and stress levels, which are known to contribute to chronic inflammation. And yet, many older men feel embarrassed or guilty discussing this topic, even with their doctor. Let me be clear, you are never too old to prioritize your sexual health. If you have concerns, whether physical, emotional, or relational, speak openly with a physician. Your urologist is there to help, not to judge. Here's where daily choices become powerful medicine. The food you eat impacts everything from hormone regulation to inflammation. And yes, even your risk of prostate cancer. Let's begin with one of the most potent compounds studied in prostate research today: lycopene, a phytonutrient found in tomatoes, guava, and watermelon. When tomatoes are cooked, particularly with olive oil, lycopene becomes more bioavailable. Men who consumed cooked tomatoes at least twice a week were found in a meta-analysis published by the International Journal of Cancer to have a 28% reduced risk of developing prostate malignancies. Next is zinc, an essential mineral concentrated in pumpkin seeds, shellfish, and nuts. Zinc supports healthy testosterone balance, enzymatic reactions, and the structural stability of the prostate. Cruciferous vegetables like broccoli, cauliflower, kale, and Brussels sprouts offer another layer of protection. These contain sulforaphane, a compound known to influence detoxification pathways and prevent DNA mutations and cellular damage that could lead to prostate cancer. The ideal plate? Plant-dominant, rich in colors, and fueled with lean proteins, whole seeds, healthy fats, and antioxidant-rich produce. In this context, food becomes proactive care, an affordable yet powerful way to support prostate resilience. We end with what may be the most underestimated habit of all: restorative sleep. Chronic sleep deprivation has a much deeper biological cost than most realize. Quality sleep governs our production of essential hormones like melatonin and growth hormone, both of which have documented anti-inflammatory properties and play critical roles in tissue repair and immune regulation. In fact, a study from the Cancer Epidemiology, Biomarkers and Prevention Journal found that men who suffered from frequent sleep disturbances had twice the risk of developing advanced prostate cancer compared to those with uninterrupted sleep. Sleep impacts testosterone levels, inflammation, mental clarity, and metabolic balance, all central to prostate health. To optimize sleep, aim for 7 to 9 hours per night in a dark, cool, quiet room. Avoid caffeine late in the day, reduce screen exposure in the evening, and maintain a consistent bedtime, even on weekends. It's not indulgence. It's essential regenerative medicine for the aging body. These 5 habits, strategic hydration, light walking after meals, regular sexual activity, targeted nutrition, and restorative sleep, may seem simple, but in simplicity lies power. You don't have to wait for symptoms to steer your health. You can take initiative today. In my clinical experience, the men who live longest and age most gracefully, those who remain mobile, confident, and independent deep into their 70s and 80s, are the ones who act preventively. They don't wait for a crisis to make changes. Now, you have the same opportunity. Share this knowledge with the men you love. And if you're over 60, start practicing these habits today. Your future self and your prostate will thank you. Taking care of your health doesn't have to begin with pills, procedures, or panic. Sometimes the most powerful medicine is found in the small decisions you make every single day. I've witnessed firsthand how these 5 simple habits, when practiced consistently, can redefine the aging process for men. They don't just protect the prostate, they enhance energy, improve sleep, reduce stress, and restore confidence. If you're a man over 60, let this be a turning point. And if you're someone who loves a man in that stage of life, a father, a husband, a grandfather, encourage them. These conversations matter more than we realize. Because what we ignore today, we may regret tomorrow. But what we choose to act on today could preserve freedom, vitality, and quality of life for years to come. Thank you for spending this time with me. If you found this message valuable, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with someone who needs to hear it. And remember, prostate health isn't just about longevity, it's about living well. Stay informed, stay proactive, and above all, stay healthy. Until next time, this is Dr. Samra reminding you, your best years are still ahead if you take care of them today.